whether our comfort from today's speaker, none other than His Grace Satya Sara Prabhuji. So I wanted to give some small introduction about uh, Prabhuji. Prabhuji is a temple president, and also he is transforming many lives, uh, from darkness to giving the lamp of shining light of his knowledge to every single soul in and around Austin area. And also he preaches many students in UT Austin. He is taking care of Bhakti Ashram in the UT Austin. And as I said, he transferred many lives in Bhakti. I was a best example for that. I was in a mode of darkness, and Prabhuji gave me his knowledge, and he is still continuously serving. With that, I would like to invite Satyasara Prabhuji to give class so that we all get enlightened from the class. Thank you, Satyasara Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Thank you, Kamalana Prabhu, for the introduction. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you all for joining. Let us start with Jai Radha Madhava, short one. I will sing. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Jai Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Yashodanandana Jayo Vrajajana Ranjana Jayo Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Jayo Vrajajana Ranjana Jayo Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Kunja Bihari Jayo Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Shri Radha Lila Mata Bhagwan ki jai, Shri Lakshmi Narsingadev Bhagwan ki jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Nataraj Bhagwan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Oh, I
Hare
didn't start
Krishna,
my video.
Prabhuji. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to start my video. Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Again, thank you all for joining. So actually, someone else supposed to speak today. I think due to a genuine reason, they could not speak, and it just came on my lap at the very last moment to take this class. So please bear with me as I'm still putting my thoughts together. So after some thinking, so I decided to speak on Sri Advaita Acharya. Since it's auspicious appearance day, I thought I would share a few thoughts in glorification of this Mahabhagavat Acharya. I'm suddenly and totally unqualified to glorify such an exalted divine personality. So, but whatever, as a service, whatever little I have heard from my gurus, my teachers, Siksha and Diksha gurus, I'll try to share along with my limited realizations on some of the principles I learned from my teachers. So before we start, let us recite Pranam Mantra of Srila Prabhupada to seek his blessings. And also we recite the Panchatattva Mantra so to invoke auspiciousness. So Prabhupada Pranam Mantra. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pashata Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. As I said, it's a very, very auspicious day, Shri Advaita Acharya's appearance day. So the perfection of a spiritual practice is to honor the Supreme Lord and his devotees as well. So today we are honoring Advaita Acharya is one of the Panchatattva, meaning one of the 5 essential truths. Pancha means 5 truth, Tattva means truth. So it's 5 essential truths of absolute truth. I would put it like that. In fact, Srila Prabhupada said that. He said that these 5 make up the absolute truth. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, beautifully defines Panchatattva in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's a very beautiful verse. It goes like this. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta Avataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. It beautifully defines it. What he says? He says, let me offer my obeisances unto the Lord Shri Krishna, who has manifested himself in 5 tattvas. He manifested himself as devotee, Bhakta Rupam, expansion of a devotee, Bhakta Swarupakam, Bhakta Avataram, that is an incarnation of a devotee. Then Bhaktakyam is a pure devotee. And the devotional energy. So these are the 5 aspects of Panchatattva. In other words, 5 truths. Who are the 5 truths? Lord Chaitanya, the Lord himself, the Lord's plenary expansion, Vaibhava Prakasha, expansion of the Swayam Bhagavan, that is Lord Balaram, or Lord Nityananda also, so plenary expansion. Then there is avatar incarnations, Advaita Acharya. Then the Lord's internal potency, Gadadhar Pandit. And the Lord's pure devotee, which is a marginal energy, Shiva's Pandit. So these 5 truths make up the Panchatattva. So Advaita Acharya is the Lord's expansion or avatar. So spiritually speaking, from the spiritual point of view, there is no difference between these 5 truths. So because on the transcendental platform, what is transcendental platform? On the platform of prema, everything connected to Krishna is absolute. So there is no difference. So therefore we can understand that Panchatattva represents the absolute truth in 5 features of the Supreme Lord Krishna. We can say like that. Krishna is a person. And he is the Supreme Lord. He is a supreme personality of Godhead. He is a supreme person. But he is one Supreme Lord. But by his Achintya Shakti, meaning inconceivable potencies or power, you can say, he can manifest himself in innumerable forms, like Brahma Samhita says. And all of which are non-different from him, even though the Lord has innumerable expansions, but still all of them are same only. So if you ask him, so for impersonalists, we can explain that Krishna is not only a one person or a supreme person, but he is 5 persons in the form of Panchatattva. Of course, he can take innumerable forms, but in this context, he's not just one supreme person, he's also 5 persons in the form of Panchatattva. And for us sadhakas, practicing devotees, this helps us to understand how the absolute truth is one. At the same time, it can manifest as many forms without contradiction. So that's the point. Huh? There is no contradiction. So therefore, our Siddhanta is, I was telling in one of the classes, best described as polymorphic monotheism. So people generally ask, are you monotheistic? Siddhanta, religion? Are you polytheistic? No, we are polymorphic monotheism, like one supreme Lord who manifests in multiple forms, such as Panchatattva, without losing his oneness or without losing his divinity or supremacy, however you want to call. That is Krishna. So when Krishna comes to this world, he never comes alone. He always comes with his close associates. Krishna means it is Krishna, Krishna's energies, which includes Krishna's close associates, and Krishna's avatars, and Krishna's pure devotees, all of them. Krishna is never alone. So when he comes to perform Leela in the material world, he also comes with his close associates. So Srimad Bhagavatam tells us that in this age of Kali, the Lord appears with his associates and spread the congregational chanting of the holy name of Krishna. Which verse is that? Anybody? He says, Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yagnai Sankirtana prayer Yajanti Esu Medasaha. So in this way, Lord Chaitanya descended along with his associates. Who are the associates? Lord Nityananda, Sri Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar Pandit, and Shivas Thakur. They all came along with Lord Chaitanya as Panchatattva, and their mission was to freely distribute the congregational chanting of the holy name of Krishna, so that even the most fallen jivas or fallen souls could experience Krishna's kripa, Krishna's mercy, and awaken Krishna prema in their hearts. That's the mission of Panchatattva. So here, as I said, Advaita Acharya is one of the Panchatattvas, and is the combination of two aspects of the absolute truth. Anyone knows who are they?
Shiva and Vishnu.
Mahavishnu and Sadashiva. Very good. So Sadashiva is not the Shiva Tattva that we experience in the material world or Guna avatars. That's not what it is. He is Sadashiva, meaning a direct expansion of Lord Sankarshan in the first Chaturvya expansion of Balaram. So the original, that Sadashiva resides in the supreme realm, the supreme, in the spiritual realm of Vaikuntha realm. And that aspect of, so in that sense, Lord Sadashiva is non-different from a Krishna in one aspect. Is Vishnu Tattva. So that aspect of the Supreme Lord combined with Mahavishnu is also expansion of Lord Sankarshan, from whom the material creation, the material manifestation happens, and all the Lord's incarnations come through Mahavishnu. So Advaita Acharya is a combination of these two aspects of the absolute truth, Sadashiva and Mahavishnu. So these two transcendental aspects come together in one form as Sri Advaita Acharya. And because of this, he is non-different from the Supreme Lord. That's why the name Advaita. Advaita means non-dual, non-dualistic. Advaita means one. It's a oneness with the Supreme Lord in terms of Tattva. So he is one with the Supreme Lord appearing in this world to assist Lord Chaitanya in his Sankirtana mission. So that is the Advaita. Advaita means that's what it is. And he's also called as an Acharya. He is an Acharya. Acharya means, who is Acharya? What is the definition of Acharya?
The one who follows the principles of bhakti and preaches them.
Fantastic. One who follows the process of bhakti and preaches them. Excellent. So Acharya is one, as Mataji said, personally practices pure sadhana of devotional service and strictly follows the pure principles of bhakti, strictly, and lives an exemplary life to teach his followers. That's one Acharya function. So the second function is Acharya also actively propagates the process of pure devotional service for the benefit of others. So Achar and Prachar both combined in Acharya. So therefore Acharya is one who both lives bhakti and teaches bhakti. So that's what Acharya is. So Srimad Bhagavatam, very beautiful. Krishna tells to Uddhava in Srimad Bhagavatam. So the Acharya means the Acharya mam vijaniyan navamanyate karchat. Krishna tells Uddhava that that's such an Acharya. You should know, Uddhava, he is myself. There's no difference between me and him. He should never be disrespected, Krishna says. Na avamanyate karchit. Never, in whatever the condition is, never disrespect Acharya. So that is the meaning of Advaita Acharya. He is one with the Supreme Lord in terms of, it's a combination of two aspects of divinity, Mahavishnu and Sadasiva. And is also an Acharya, one who lives bhakti and who preaches bhakti. So now you all know who is Advaita Acharya. What does it mean? I mean, I'm not going to go through all the life history of Advaita Acharya to detail because we don't have time. His glories are unlimited. So I just want to speak on some of the things that comes to my mind. And I read this Chaitanya Charitamrita chapter 6 of Adi Leela, where Advaita Acharya is presented very beautifully. So Sri Advaita Acharya appeared in Shantipur in West Bengal. He was 52 years older than Lord Chaitanya. 52 years older. Then you can see how senior he was in terms of age. And he appeared in the home of Nabi Devi. Some places it says Naba Devi, but Nabi Devi. And his father was Kuvera Pandit. And he's born in a Brahmana family. He was a disciple of Mahabhagavat, Vaishnav, Srila Madhavendra Puri. I mean, I don't want to digress too much, but Madhavendra Puri is a link between Madhava Sampradaya and Gaudiya Sampradaya because Madhavendra Puri is in the line of Madhava and Sri Advaita Acharya took Diksha from Madhavendra Puri and Ishwara Puri, also a disciple of Madhavendra Puri, and Lord Chaitanya took Diksha from Ishwara Puri. So that's the link between Madhava Parampara and Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara because we are a branch of Madhava. So Madhavendra Puri is that connecting point. So Advaita Acharya took Diksha from him. So Advaita Acharya showed by his own example, if you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, that how he taught us by his own life how one can be a perfect, pure grasta and at the same time a pure, exalted devotee of Krishna. You can have both. Some people think that only just sannyas or vanaprastha or brahmacharya ashram you can be pure. Even in grasta ashram you can be a pure devotee by doing all your grasta duties in connection with Krishna. So that's what Advaita Acharya is showing us. He's a pakka grasta but a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord. So as a pakka, as a perfect householder, he would regularly hold Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam classes at his house. Where when he was giving classes, he used to give the true meanings of those verses in accordance with the principles of Bhagavad Dharma, in principles of pure devotional service. He won't just to do hodgepodge explanation, but purely stick with the Bhagavata principles. So many Vaishnavas at that time would regularly come to Sri Advaita Acharya's house and they would hear Katha. They would hear and discuss Krishna Katha and experience great satisfaction and happiness. Kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. So they experience that when they come together and discuss Krishna Katha. So he was doing it in that capacity, but at the same time, his heart, Advaita Acharya's heart, was deeply pained to see people of Navadvip and also people in general all over the world were so absorbed in materialism, uh, doing all kinds of material activities. Even the Brahmanas, they don't follow the what they're supposed to follow, the Vedic rituals, Vedic sacrifices. They stopped all those things. They got into too much into material activities, sinful life. And some of them adopted the impersonal philosophies as well, like Mayavada and things like that. They started worshipping Durga Devi with all kinds of, tamasic worship. So he felt a great compassion for the fallen souls and how they were suffering. So his concern for the spiritual welfare becomes stronger and stronger as time passed by. So you wanted to combat the paths of dry philosophical speculation based on impersonal gyan. You want to really combat that. And also the fruitive activities, the karma kanda sacrifices and karma kanda practice. By preaching the science of pure devotional service. So it's very interesting. One small Prabhupada pastime comes to my mind in this regard. Advaita Acharya being a perfect grasta and a perfect devotee. Once during a morning walk, Prabhupada was going in a morning walk with his disciples, and one grasta devotee was walking. If you listen to Prabhupada's morning walks or see his disciples describing the morning walks, you can see Prabhupada would answer very compassionately all the questions asked, but he would walk only, he won't stop. But in this pastime, this Grasa devotee asked Prabhupada, what is the first duty of, I'm just paraphrasing the question, but this essence. Prabhupada, what is the first duty of a Grasta? What is the important duty of a Grasta? Srila Prabhupada immediately stopped walking. Generally, he won't. He stopped walking to answer this question. Basically, he stopped walking because to show how important the question was. So Prabhupada stopped. Prabhupada said so Prabhupada said like this, before a grasta takes his own meal, prasadam, he should go outside of his house and call out 3 times to see if there is anyone hungry nearby. 3 times, loud voice. If someone comes to your house hearing that, you feed them first prasadam, then only you can honor it. If no one comes, then you can honor prasadam yourself. So Prabhupada answered it like this. So the devotee who asked this question thought that Prabhupada did not understand his question because he was expecting something else. So maybe Prabhupada didn't understand. So I'm going to ask again. So this devotee asked the question again after some time in a very, very polite manner, of course. Then Srila Prabhupada stopped walking and repeated the same answer. You go out and call 3 times if anybody is hungry. If they come, feed them. Nobody comes, you eat. That's the prime duty of a grasta. Then the devotee was not convinced again. So he asked again. Srila Prabhupada was walking, he asked another time. So Srila Prabhupada very patiently, very lovingly stopped walking again. Again, he answered the same way. Finally, this devotee understood. He got the idea that this is the answer. So it looks like a simple answer, but there is a principle. If you think about it, there is a very important principle of Grasthas to learn. The reason I'm sharing this pastime is to highlight that Sri Advaita Acharya, if you read his life story, life history, is an ideal Grastha in every respect. In the same spirit, he performed this very activity that Prabhupada was telling. Advaita Acharya will go out of his house and he will call out 3 times to see if anyone in the neighborhood was hungry before taking his own meal. So in this way, Advaita Acharya teaches us an important principle that Grahastha life begins with, this is the principle Prabhupada is also telling in that answer. Grahastha life begins with care, compassion, and service to others in connection with Krishna. This is where Grahastha life starts. Grahastha life is not, household life is not meant for selfish enjoyment of the facilities that's given at the ashram, in that ashram, Grahastha ashram. Grahastha ashram means what? You can study, go to college, get educated, have a job. You can have wife or husband. You can have house. You can have money. You can have children. These are not meant for our selfish enjoyment. The facilities are given, but they're meant for using them responsibly and compassionately in the service of Krishna and his devotees. That's what it is meant for. Then the ashram will purify. So that's the important principle for us from this. Advaita Acharya followed this. And Sri Advaita Acharya had 6 sons. 3 of them very faithfully followed the path of pure devotional service, strictly followed the father's path, which is pure bhakti. And the other 3 deviated from pure bhakti practice and were influenced by this impersonal philosophy. They become a impersonalist, Mayavadis. So 3 sons become pure devotees, the 3 sons become impersonalist. It's pretty interesting. Srila Prabhupada gave an interesting statement in this regard. The 3 sons who followed their father, they got the mercy, they got the blessings of the father, because father is Mahabhagavat. He is not different from the Lord himself, his incarnation. Since they followed the pure bhakti, father blessed them and they become very successful in life. They attained all auspiciousness, Prabhupada says. The other 3 sons who deviated from the path of pure devotional service were rejected by their father. Advaita Acharya rejected them. And when you are rejected by your guru, father is also like guru, or a devotee, then a pure devotee, what happens? You become useless. So Srila Prabhupada said like this. Prabhupada used this example, especially when speaking on the disappearance day of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, is Guru Maharaj, to highlight the importance of loyalty to Guru's instructions. The fidelity to the Guru's instruction is extremely important for a disciple. So one of the final desires of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was to set up a governing body commission, meaning the governing body which should manage Gaudiya Math. That was Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's desire, to manage the affairs of Gaudiya Math after his departure. But many of his followers, after Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur left this world, many of his followers did not follow that instruction. They seriously fought among themselves within Gaudiya Math over who should be the next head of Gaudiya Math or Acharya of Gaudiya Math. So these internal fights become very destructive. And because of these fights, because of this disunity among the followers of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and they deviated from the spiritual master's instruction. What happened? They become useless. The preaching stopped. The preaching was severely affected, and to a large extent they stopped. So Srila Prabhupada was saying that when disciples deviate from the orders of spiritual master, their spiritual potency is lost. They lose the opulence. They become useless. They are not empowered to do anything. The inauspiciousness will start to prevail. So, in other words, the real purpose of being a disciple is to faithfully serve the Guru's mission and help spread Krishna consciousness. When a disciple deviates from the instructions of the spiritual master, they lose their direction and the grounding in bhakti life. It is given. So from this, we can learn an important principle that both success and failure in bhakti, in devotional service, depends on how seriously we understand and follow the instructions of the spiritual master, instruction of the guru. And this is the basis of success in our devotional life. When we are firmly fixed in carrying out the orders of the guru, we become empowered to act on guru's behalf, and the mission naturally moves forward. So that's why we sing every day. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, yasya prasadan nakati katopi. Only by the mercy of Guru, one can make advancement in bhakti. Otherwise, bhakti is checked. So one who rejects the instructions of the spiritual master, or one who takes the instruction of the spiritual master and picks and chooses according to what is suitable, what is convenient for my mind and senses, and what is not suitable for my mind and senses, or based on some concocted ideas, your own mental ideas. If you do things like that, then that is also considered to be a deviation. You are considered to be deviated from the instructions of the spiritual master, period. So therefore, sincere and wholehearted adherence to the Guru's guidance is the fundamental principle of success in bhakti. It's a very important point. That's why Srila Prabhupada established the Governing Body Commission, GBC, before he left this world. I think it was 1970, if I'm not mistaken. Prabhupada established it because Prabhupada wanted to follow. He clearly understood his Guru's instruction. And also from history that when great Acharya depart, there is a risk of confusion, deviation, disunity, if proper systems are not in place. So Srila Prabhupada wanted to make sure, before I go away, I want to establish GBC to protect and manage the affairs of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. That is Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada gave every breath to execute his Guru's orders. He never retired. Devotees now talk about retirement, 50s and 60s. He never retired. He preached up to his last breath. He was on a deathbed and giving Bhaktivedanta purports. So therefore, he was a perfect example of a perfect disciple. So when Guru blesses us, we'll become very successful and we become very useful, or you will become an effective instrument in the hands of Lord Chaitanya. So then in another instance, Srila Prabhupada said that there are three things were going on in Sri Advaita Acharya's house. It is a very important point. Three things were happening every single day in Advaita Acharya's house. What are the three things? And anybody knows what Prabhupada said? If you are a Grahastha, we have to follow this. Rohini Didi?
Reading Bhagavatam every day.
Okay, very good. Anything else?
No, I don't.
Okay.
As per my status.
Preaching,
Preaching, very good.
prasadam,
Prashadam,
and
okay. Very good. Meera?
Manglarti.
Mangalarti, very good.
Chanting, Prabhu.
Chanting, very good.
Doing Arati every day.
Arati every day, very good. Keshapani Prabhu.
Kirtan.
Kirtan was going on, very good. So, three things. You can put all these things, whatever answer you gave, everything is correct in three things Prabhupada said. Prabhupada said the Hari Katha was going on, Hari Kirtan, and Hari Puja. These three things has to happen in every householder house by following in the footsteps of Sri Advaita Acharya. Hari Katha, Hari Kirtan, Hari Puja. If you think about it, these three together makes the essence of devotional service. Harikatha means glorifying the Lord by chanting the holy names of Lord Hari, Krishna. Sorry, Hari Kirtan means. Harikatha means glorifying the Lord by hearing and speaking about his activities, preaching and all those things, or speaking about Krishna's pastimes and relishing. And Hari Puja means glorifying the Lord by worshipping him in various ways, deity worship, arati, and all those things. If someone asks us, what is devotional service all about? We can say these three things, if you want to put it simply. What do we say? To always remember Krishna by chanting his holy names, Hari Kirtan. To always remember Krishna by hearing and speaking about his glories and pastimes, Hari Katha. To always remember Krishna by worshipping him in various ways, cooking, offering, doing arati, and this is Hari Puja. So this is the entirety of, in a sense, the entirety of bhakti, the entirety of devotional service. So any activity we may perform in bhakti, whatever it is actually situated within the context of these three principles, if you think about it. In fact, one Srila Prabhupada said, even the dictaphone that he used to record his purports, he said it is a form of a chanting, Prabhupada said. Why? Because the dictaphone is being used to glorify Krishna only. So in this way, when our activities are connected to Krishna, everything we do fits in within these three categories of devotional service. When you perform every service as a way to glorify Krishna, if it fits in with these three things, Hari Katha, Hari Kirtan, Hari Puja, then the process of bhakti becomes very joyful. It is performed joyfully. Susukham kartam avyayam. Susukham. But when we see our service just as an obligation, work, task, or to glorify ourselves, then the process of bhakti becomes very difficult. It becomes very tough. You feel like, when I'm going to stop this? When I'm going to stop and relax? All these kind of things come because we do it as not to glorify Krishna, not to praise Krishna, but just to praise ourselves. So therefore, whatever we do, it should be an expression of our love for Krishna, to honor and glorify him. It should be done in the mode of service to the Lord and his devotees. Then we will really advance in bhakti. Another beautiful pastime comes to my mind of Advaita Acarya is with Lord Chaitanya. Of course, there are numerous pastimes, but this one, it's very important. Shri Advaita Acharya used to glorify the Lord in different ways. As we see, Hari Katha is going on, Hari Kirtan was going on always in his house, Hari Puja is going on. So one day Advaita Acharya was so enthusiastic and he was so overwhelmed with prema, love for Lord Chaitanya. And he told all the devotees assembled in his house, he said, today we will do Gaura Kirtan. They always do Krishna Kirtan because that is Lord Chaitanya's mandate. He said, no, today we are going to do Gaura Kirtan because I love him so much, Lord Chaitanya Rupam. It's so wonderful. He wanted everyone to chant the holy names of Lord Chaitanya. But the assembled devotees were a little hesitant because Lord Chaitanya did not like it. When others chanted his name, Lord Chaitanya said no. Lord Chaitanya wanted only Krishna's name to be chanted and glorified. But at that moment, Lord Chaitanya was not present in that assembly. So Advaita Acharya was so excited to chant Lord Chaitanya's name. So he literally pushed everyone, of course, lovingly, to chant. So everyone were very joyfully started chanting Lord Chaitanya's holy names. Jai Gauranga, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Gaura Hari, Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari, very beautiful Gaura Kirtan was going on. And it went on for a long time because they also immersed in the nectar of the holy names of Lord Chaitanya. So at that time, from a distance, Lord Chaitanya heard devotees are doing Kirtan. And he started walking towards the place where they were doing Kirtan. And finally, he reached the place. And the devotees did not even look at Lord Chaitanya because they all closed their eyes and they're singing very beautifully the Kirtan. But Lord Chaitanya noticed that devotees were chanting his name instead of Krishna's name, he immediately understood who was behind it. Without saying any word, Lord Chaitanya quietly left the place and returned to where he was staying, and he closed the door and he slept for some time. After some time, Shiva's Thakur came to see Lord Chaitanya there. At that moment, Lord Chaitanya said, Shivas, why are these devotees chanting my name instead of chanting Krishna's name? At that moment, Shiva's Thakur, is a pure devotee of the Lord. He just used both of his hands to just cover the sunlight coming through the window of the room where Lord Chaitanya was staying. Lord Chaitanya looked at it and asked, Shivas, what are you doing? I'm telling something very important. I'm sharing my concern and you are just using your hands to cover the window. Shiva Thakur replied and said that, my dear Lord, I'm trying to cover the sunlight coming through the window. Then Lord Chaitanya smiled at him and said, you cannot cover the sunlight with your hand. Sun is so big, nobody can hide it. Immediately Shiva Thakur responded. He said, in the same way, my Lord, you cannot hide your true identity from us. You are not just Krishna, you are Radharani also. Sorry, you act like a devotee, like Radharani, but you are Krishna as Krishna also. You are Krishna inside, and outside you are a devotee of Krishna who is Radharani. You are carrying the mood and the color of Radharani, the golden. So you cannot hide that from us. So hearing this, Lord Chaitanya understood, and in fact he was pleased with Advaita Acharya. So then, why was Lord Chaitanya pleased? Because Sri Advaita Acharya revealed the most confidential truth that Lord Chaitanya is the combined manifestation of Srimati Radharani and Swayam Bhagavan Krishna. And that's why he has the devotees to sing Lord Chaitanya's names. So Lord Chaitanya is not different from Krishna, but he appears in this world with the bhav, as I said, the mood and the complexion of his internal energy, Srimati Radharani. So now I have a question for all of you. What are the three internal reasons why Mahaprabhu came? One per person.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu?
The first and foremost reason was that Krishna wanted to experience the actual bhava that Radharani has for him. So in order to experience that, he has to take the bhava of Radharani in order to appear. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you, Prabhu. Very good answer. What is the other reason? Aladini Radha Mataji.
Advaita Acharya, so because Mahaprabhu called him because there is a lots of thing going on. Like people are not in the good mood. So Mahaprabhu called him.
Advaita Acharya called.
Yeah, we read it in the book.
He called. That is the external reason. I'm asking internal reason. Very good answer.
To spread the love of God.
To spread that is external. Yes, Guru Ani Mataji.
To show the mood of devotee.
Mood of a devotee. Okay, very good. Guru Ani Mataji.
To know the sweetness, the greatness, and the happiness in devotion.
Sweetness, greatness, happiness. Very good. Abhay Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, to experience the love that Radharani, Srimati Radharani has for him.
Very good. Excellent. So I think all three are correct. So I'll put it like this, easy to remember. The three internal reasons why Mahaprabhu descended to taste the love that Radharani has for Krishna. The degree, the intensity of the love that she has for Krishna. What is that? Krishna has been always a receiver of it. He wants to be the other side and see what is that love, intensity of that love. And the second is to experience the happiness of that love, like Guru Ani Mataji was saying. Whether Krishna reciprocates or not, Radharani experiences the happiness of loving Krishna so intensely. So what is that? So that's number 2. Number 3 is to really understand his own glories as they are seen or felt by Radharani from that angle of vision. Make sense? These are the 3 things. How she is seeing me that gives her so much love and affection for me. How is that possible? What is that? So that's the 3 reasons. Now let's talk about 3 external reasons. One external reason, Aladin Radha Mataji gave, which is Advaita Acharya called Lord Chaitanya, so Lord Chaitanya came. Right, Aladin Radha Mataji? That's what you said. You prayed for him to appear.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. What is the second external reason?
To spread the love of God.
Yes, to spread the love of God. Very good.
To propagate the Nam Sankirtan, Prabhu.
The same Nama Sankirtan, love of God is okay. But Bhagavad Gita, what does Bhagavad Gita say?
Sarvadharma Paritijya.
Guru Ani Mataji?
So to give Rajaprema, Sankirtan and Advaita.
All those things are Sankirtana movement.
But Bhagavad Gita, the Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glanir.
Exactly. Very good. Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glanir Bhavati Bharata Abhyuktanam Adharmasya Tadatmanam Shijamyaham. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, predominant rise of a religion, I dissent myself. Then the continuation. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha daskrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To deliver the devotees, to protect the devotees, annihilate miscreants, protect the religious principles are established. I come. So this is second reason. You can put all these 3 in one reason, second reason. So first is Advaita Acharya prayed for Lord to appear. Second is this. What is the third one?
Spread the glories of Harinam.
Correct. Glories of Harinam, establish Yoga Dharma. Because it's a time, Kali Yuga is progressing very fast, and we need to establish the Yoga Dharma, the congregational chanting of the holy name, all the answers they gave, the spread love of God, give the holy names, Krishna Kirtan to everyone. All those things comes under the Yoga Dharma reason. So these are the external reasons why the Lord appears. Here, Advaita Acharya prayed, so Lord Chaitanya appeared. Mahaprabhu himself says, I was just in the spiritual world, Advaita Acharya called me and I had descended here. Lord Chaitanya's appearance was the earnest prayers of Sri Advaita Acharya. Because why did he pray? Because he saw the people of, as I explained before, in Navadvip and all over the world, people are had fallen into the degraded consciousness, materialistic consciousness. Many were leading sinful life and were even the highly educated people had become influenced by impersonal philosophies. People started eating meat and liquor and you name it, all kinds of degraded things they started to do. So very, very few at that time were practicing pure devotional service, and seeing this condition, it deeply pained Advaita Acharya's heart. So out of great compassion for the fallen suffering souls, he concluded that only the Supreme Lord Krishna himself could deliver this kind of a degraded jivas in the Kali Yuga. So with intense feeling, he prayed for the Lord to descend and inaugurate the Sankirtan movement. So that the holy name of Krishna could once again spread all over the world and awaken the prema, love of God in everyone's heart. So this is a very important lesson for us, because the quality of a pure devotee here, Advaita Acharya is incarnation, but still is exhibiting the quality of a pure devotee, because they become naturally unhappy when they see people wasting their lives in temporary materialistic things, wasting their life, doing some useless things, or wasting their life in sense enjoyment, which lead to sufferings and cause them to take birth again and again. So that the pure devotees cannot see that. So they become very compassionate. So Advaita Acharya thought that it is the time for the Supreme Lord to appear in his most remarkable, the most munificent form, in order to shower the highest mercy to the fallen souls. So that's why Mahaprabhu is Mahavadanyaya, Mahakarunaya, and Mahaudarya, all three. Huh? The most munificent, most merciful, most compassionate, most generous. Huh? And he came to give Krishna Prema to everyone in the mood of Radharani. Huh? And that is the gift, the benediction we all received because Sri Advaita Acharya prayed for Lord to come. So Advaita Acharya would go to the banks of Ganga every day with great devotion. He worshipped his Shalagram Shila, offering Ganga water, tulsi leaves, and sandalwood paste. With folded hands and heart full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls, he earnestly called out the Supreme Lord to please appear and deliver these fallen souls. And Lord Chaitanya appeared just by hearing the prayers. So this shows the unlimited compassion of Sri Advaita Acharya. He is a real Paradukka Dukki. Paradukka Dukki means one who feels the pain upon seeing the suffering of the other person. But generally we don't see Paradukka Dukki. Paradukka Sukhi only we see. When somebody suffers, we are happy. That is the condition of the Kali Yuga jivas. But the pure devotee is Paradukka Dukki. You want to give them Krishna's holy name, knowing that only the holy name could deliver this degraded jivas in the Kali Yuga. So the lesson for us is that by following in the footsteps of Sri Advaita Acharya, we should also try to share the glories of the holy name with others. So Advaita Acharya is the source of all our missionary spirit. It started there. Preaching is an expression of Vaishnava compassion. At the same time, it also, when you preach, it also helps us become more fixed and sincere in our own devotional service, in our own sadhana. So that's why, if you're taking up the mode of preaching means to take up the mode of Sri Advaita Acharya, to spread the Lord Chaitanya's mercy to the fallen conditioned souls. So preaching is not an ordinary activity. Krishna loves everyone. He says in Bhagavad Gita, Samoham sarva bhuteshu, na me dvashyasti na priya, na bhajanti tu mam bhaktya, mayi te teshu chapyaham. He says, okay, I don't have hatred for anyone. I am not partial to anyone. I'm equal to everyone. But he puts a condition. When somebody renders devotional service unto me, when somebody practices bhakti, is a friend of me, and I am also a friend of them. So this shows that Krishna is very benevolent and a loving father, Pitaham Asya Jagato, who wants all his children to come back to him. And the way he brings them back is by engaging them in devotional service. Make sense? So therefore, one who takes up the service of bringing others back to Krishna becomes very dear to him. Very, very dear to him. Nachatasman manasheshu, what the Krishna says, Kaschid me priya kritama. I was telling somebody about priya kritama. This is the verse. Nachatasman manasheshu, Kaschid me priya kritama. Krishna says, there is no servant. This is an amazing statement. There's no servant in this world more dear to me than who preaches the message of Bhagavad Gita. The previous verse. Ya idam paramam guyam mad bhakteshu abhidashyate. So we should preach. So what does preaching mean? The preaching means becoming an instrument in bringing others to Krishna consciousness. Become an instrument. It is a mode of one's spiritual practice. In other words, we perform devotional service as an offering to Krishna and as a service to others. Whether it's a painting or cooking or distributing prasadam, cleaning the temple floor, decorating the deities, making garland, book distribution, giving class, you name it, buying the procurement, or arranging things in the temple, any other service, putting the festivals together, inviting guests to the thing, any other service, one can preach in any capacity as long as it is done with the intention of serving others, inspiring them, uplifting them, and helping them connect more directly with Krishna and Krishna's service. That is preaching. So preaching Krishna consciousness pleases Guru Parampara, because think about it, it started with Sri Advaita Acharya. Prabhupada, before came to America to preach, he went to Advaita Bhavan and he prayed to Sri Advaita Acharya, I am going on this mission on the order of my Guru. I do not know I'll be successful or not. Please bless me, Sri Advaita Acharya, that my attempt may please my Guru. This is Srila Prabhupada. So when we preach Krishna consciousness, it pleases our Guru Parampara and ultimately it pleases Krishna himself. Srila Prabhupada writes in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam very beautifully in the purport. He said that we cannot be truly happy under any circumstances unless we please Krishna. Srila Prabhupada writes this. We cannot be truly happy under any circumstances in this world unless we please Krishna. Unless there is Krishna in our life, there is no question of happiness. You may be happy for some time. Be ready. So therefore, when we take part in spreading Krishna consciousness, even in a small way, then we are aligning our life with Lord's desire, with our Guru Parampara's desire. And that is the real source of happiness and fulfillment. No money can give you that. None of your material relationships can give you that. Only Krishna can give you, and Krishna's devotees can give you that happiness and fulfillment. Krishna personally takes care of his devotees who are always absorbed in remembering him and glorifying him, and such devotees live in this world by his divine grace alone. You have to mark this line. If you think about it practically, it is only devotees who can really survive the harshness of the material world. None of them can survive. Others struggle without shelter because they don't have shelter, or they have a shelter which is temporary. They think that money can do anything for them, the relationships can do anything for them, or the job can do anything for them, or whatever. Only devotees can remain peaceful because we have the real permanent shelter, which is Krishna. Krishna's lotus feet. So nobody can survive this material world except devotees. What is that verse Krishna says? Who attains peace in Bhagavad Gita? Famous verse.
Gyatva mam shantam rachyati.
Right. Bhaktaram
Bhaktaram yagnatasam sarvalokam maheshwar.
Suradam sarva bhutanam gnatva mam shantim richati. Very, very important verse. The person who is in full consciousness of me, knowing me the ultimate beneficiary of all the sacrifices, austerities. I am the Lord of all the planets, all the demigods, devatas. I am the well-wishing friend of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. That's why I said only devotees can survive the harshness of material world because we have Krishna with us. Others who do not take shelter of Krishna may exist in this world, like dogs and cats exist, plants and trees exist. These people also can exist. But without fulfilling goal, without any fulfillment of the heart. They live only to pursue temporary material goals. Yes, I want education. Yes, I want job. Yes, I want to get married. I want wife, husband, house, children. Okay, all the common goals, yes. But they can never fully satisfy the heart. Yes, all these things are needed. But if there's no Krishna, what is the use? This can never truly satisfy the heart. In that sense, existence becomes just a survival without deeper meaning of life or deeper fulfillment of the heart if there is no Krishna. So living means to live for Krishna's service with a clearer goal of pleasing him. That is what living means. Otherwise, you exist. So if you have this goal and if you live for this purpose, then you really live every moment of your life. And that kind of life is filled with meaning, filled with direction, filled with inner fulfillment. Otherwise, you'll be very selfish or extended selfishness. That's all you will have. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada says elsewhere that those who realizes Krishna has the ultimate goal of life, not just speaking about it, just realizing it. Krishna is my ultimate goal. Will preach, Srila Prabhupada says. Will help others to become Krishna conscious. This is the perfection of our spiritual life. So we will not look for our own satisfaction, but for Krishna's satisfaction. Then the real satisfaction comes. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, beautiful verse. It says, Krishna Bhakti Nishkama Ateva Shanta, Bhakti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakali Ashanta. In the sense, only devotees of Krishna is always engaged in Krishna's service without any selfish desire. So they are very truly peaceful. But others like a bhakti, like materialist karmis, mukti seekers, the impersonal jnanis and siddhis, the seeker of mystic perfection or whatever, they will never be peaceful because they want something for themselves. So therefore, preaching is such an important service. But how do we preach? If we want to preach Krishna consciousness, I will tell you this, we must learn to see Krishna in others' hearts. That is the bottom line. If you don't see that, you cannot preach. When we see Krishna, we naturally begin to see good in others. When we see good in others, we are able to encourage them and elevate them to Krishna consciousness. If we cannot see good in others, then the preaching is not at all possible. So it starts with seeing good in others, and the bottom line of that is seeing Krishna in everyone's heart. Sarvasya Chaham Ridhi Sanivishto. You see the Lord in everyone's heart. So elevation in bhakti does not mean pointing out the fault of others. Rather, it means first learning to see and appreciate the good in others. This is where it starts. Preaching starts there. Otherwise, you cannot be effective preacher. You may preach because of the external conditions, whatever. Unless you see Krishna in their heart, unless you see good in them, unless you really want to connect them with Krishna, so Krishna will be pleased, there is no effective preaching. So when we sincerely appreciate the good in others, then we become qualified to help them by pointing out their faults later. In this way, that is constructive, compassionate, and beneficial for the spiritual growth of the other person. I know we're running out of time. There's so many things we can talk about. Sri Advaita Acharya is such a Mahabhagavat and one of the Panchatattvas. So therefore, let us humbly try to follow in the divine footsteps of Sri Advaita Acharya and our Srila Prabhupada, who followed in the footsteps of Advaita Acharya, and pray to them so that we can develop a genuine desire to preach Krishna consciousness according to our abilities, so that many conditioned souls who are suffering out there may come in contact with the chanting of the holy names of Krishna and attain the ultimate destination. So today is a very, very auspicious day. It is said that if you honor and serve Sri Advaita Acharya by preaching nicely, only then we can get the mercy of Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya. So with that, I conclude my class. Shri Advaita Acharya ki jai. Yuga Dharma Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaurav Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Satya Sara Prabhu, for wonderful class. So I joined late.
I can take questions, Prabhu, if there are.
Yeah, if anyone wants to have any questions or comments, any reflections you want to share.
Aladani Radha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Wonderful class, Prabhuji. It's very good. So my question is, Prabhuji, most of time we see when we take the initiation with it, the person should be older or like big. But here, Advaita Acharya is 50-year-old than the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like only 24-year-old, and he is like very like 50 plus. How can I understand this? And is it any scriptures thing, Prabhu, that defines the same thing? Like in the Bhagavatam, it is the same thing. It will
Anybody taken a diksha from
like this?
Well, here it is it's a different concept here, because Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself. So he is oldest of the oldest, newest of the newest. So he is Mahaprabhu himself, and Advaita Acharya has appeared to help Mahaprabhu in his Sankirtan mission as Krishna comes with his associates, correct? So yes, Advaita Acharya is, from the age-wise, it's elder, but Advaita Acharya completely new. So in fact, Mahaprabhu respected Advaita Acharya as a senior, because he is his Guru's godbrother. Because Ishwara Puri and Advaita Acharya are the same Guru, Madhavendra Puri. But Advaita Acharya knew that Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord himself. He did not want Mahaprabhu to give him respect. So Advaita Acharya used to do something so that Mahaprabhu can chastise him. So that relationship is very different. You understand? So it is the Lord and his devotee. Like another example we can take is Krishna and Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj is in a Vatsalya Bhakta actually. He is a pure devotee in a Vatsalya Bhav. But his role is as a father. His service is to function as a father for the Supreme Lord. So Krishna used to be afraid of Nanda Maharaj sometimes. Sometimes he used to give teachings to Nanda Maharaj, as you know, in Govardhan Puja. Why are you worshipping Indra? You should listen to me. I will tell you this. So it is a loving a devotion between a Lord and his devotees. So that's what we see in Advaita Acharya and Mahaprabhu. He is a Supreme Lord. Is age a factor in taking Diksha and all? Definitely no. Because if you see, Maharaj Parikshit took Diksha of Sukadeva Goswami, who is much younger compared to all the assembled sages there. Vyasudeva was there, Narada was there, and Vasishta was there. You know, all these Angiras were there. So all these great Maharishis and Brahma Rishis and pure devotees were there. So it's not based on age alone. It is based on one's connection or inspiration. If somebody can give you purely following the process of bhakti, right, just a strong sadhana, purely following the process of bhakti without any deviation, and they are from a bona fide Guru Parampara, they have a bona fide Guru, and they are very advanced in bhakti, then if they are qualified, yes, we can take Diksha from them. Age is not a matter. Age doesn't matter. Their bhakti, can they inspire me? Can they guide me so that I can reach Krishna? So that's the criterion. Are they simply following their Guru properly? You know, so again, we can talk about Guru Tattva, but age is not the only factor. You look at the person's advancement and their adherence to their Gurus, you know, following the Guru's instruction and so on. The purity. Right? So there are many examples in Shastra you can see. People take Siksha and Diksha from someone who is much younger to them. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, Mataji. Next, Kamala Naina Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for such a wonderful class. Prabhuji, I just want to know, so Advaita Acharya called out, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to appear here. So from the birth itself, Advaita Acharya knows that he is a Supreme Lord. Chaitanya came as a Supreme Lord, or some other point in a lifetime, he came to know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a Supreme.
Advaita Acharya is a combined manifestation of Mahavishnu and Sadashiva. So they're fully knowledgeable. Sarvagnatvam, the sense all-knowing. So any incarnation which comes, the Lord's incarnation comes to the material world, they have to come through Mahavishnu. So Advaita Acharya is playing the role of that. So he is praying to the Lord and asking Lord Krishna to appear in this magnanimous form of Lord Chaitanya. So he knew. He is Mahavishnu and Sadashiva combination. Mahavishnu is not different from Krishna, actually. And Lord Sadashiva is not different from Krishna also, in the sense that he is expansion of Lord Sankarshan. So they're all knowing.
Thank
you. Yeah, very good question. Any other question? I saw somebody raise the hand and yeah, Keshapani Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Wonderful class. Just a comment. Today morning only I was reading this Bhagavatam first canto, 14th chapter and 43rd verse. In that, Srila Prabhupada gave the realization about the Gruhastu Dharma. And I really felt very happy. Like immediately I read, and again you stressed on the point of Gruhastu Dharma, like you had to call out for the meals, and it's really connecting. I felt very connecting and all. So thanks a lot, Prabhuji, for the wonderful.
Okay, now I'm going to ask question also, because you cannot ask me question. I'm going to ask. So how do we implement this principle of calling out?
In US.
Exactly.
I was immediately thinking that also when you said.
Question for everyone. Yeah, you can just give a short.
So my realization is again I read it in some books, I don't know where, but we have to give food to the birds and plants or birds, especially birds. We have to call out. That's what my realization when you said that, and when I read it today morning, that we have to call out, compulsory we have to call out, and then only Gruhastu should eat. That's what my realization was.
Very good. Anybody else? Anyone else?
In that case, Prabhu, we can also do charity.
Charity to?
Temple.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, very good. I mean, of course, charity in general is okay. You can give prasadam to homeless people or people who are, don't have food and all. What else? Very good point. Both the points, Keshapani Prabhu and you both had a very good point. Anything else?
You can serve the prasadam to devotees nearby. Anybody they are saying, but here in US, may not take, but we can go to others and give them prasadam to anyone. Especially, we can give the prasadam to Guru, satisfied Guru. So we can eat after that, all those things.
Very good, Prabhu. Very good.
We can do a chanting before eating and also spread the Nam Sankirtan.
Very good.
That's the only way we can call out.
Fantastic. Chant the holy name and yes, Prabhu. Nama Sankirtan. Very good. Anything else? Pranay Kriti Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji, Hari Katha and Hari Kirtan, we don't have to wait just to be in the temple or somewhere. We should be doing it as a daily practice at our home.
Very good. Very good. So I think all are correct. So the principle behind the activity is what we are meant to follow, because in this day and age, we may not be able to literally go out and call people before every meal. They think that you are a crazy fellow. They'll call police also sometimes. So you have to be careful. But the spirit in which it was done, the principle behind, as I said, in Niyamagraha, meaning behind the activity is what meant to follow, not necessarily the exact form. So the principle is, as I said, care, compassion, and service. So we can live that principle by ensuring that our home is very welcoming to devotees, and the prasadam is shared whenever possible, and the devotees and guests feel cared for. And that the resources like a time, energy, wealth, whatever we are used in Krishna's service, not only for our own service. taking care of our body and senses. No, we support preaching, sponsor prasadam distribution, sponsor book distribution, invite others into Krishna consciousness, encourage devotees, help wherever is needed. So in this way, even in the if the external activity looks different, the heart of Advaita Acharya's teaching remains the same. The Grahastha life centered on service to Guru and Krishna, generosity, compassion to others, connecting them to Krishna and stuff like that. So that's how we practice. Thank you, Keshapani Prabhu, for that point. Radha Raswari Prabhu, one more question, then we'll conclude.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri
Dandavat
Prabhupada, Hare Krishna devotees. So Prabhu, just one thought came to me that we can always carry some prasadam with us. And on street we see people asking for money. Instead of giving them money, we can give them some prasadam. So in that way also they can get some mercy.
Fantastic.
So
Very good.
that's something I wanted to practice that myself first. I wanted to do that.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for bringing up that point, Prabhu. Very good. Archie Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, very beautiful class Prabhuji. So many points to know for myself. So Prabhuji, I have a request. If you can share the past time when Advaita Acharya asked to show his Vishwarupa to Lord Chaitanya, just a little bit, Prabhuji.
We don't have time, Mataji. Maybe
Yeah,
what I can do.
in short, Prabhuji, if we can just little bit.
I will do one thing. Satya Prabhu already messaging me. I'll do one thing. I will write about it and send it.
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Archie Mataji. That's I would like to explain that pastime. In fact, I had it in mind, but the flow of thought took me somewhere. I will write a short realization and send it. Is it okay?
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji.
Thank you for understanding, Mataji. Thank you. Over to you, Satyarupa Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you, Satya Sara Prabhu. We are all eternally indebted for educating all of us and giving such a wonderful knowledge. With that, we will chant one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra for Prabhuji's well-being. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So today's Narsimha going to sing by Kiran Prabhu. Kiran Prabhu, can you unmute and sing?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladaladaine. Praladaladaine. Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimho. Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimho. Yato Yami Tato Narsimha. Yato Yami Tato Narsimha. Bahir Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha. Bahir Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha. Narasimhamadam Sharanam Prapade. Narasimhamadam Sharanam Prapade. Tava Karakamala Varenakam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare तव करकमलवरेणकाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गाम् दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गां केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद भक्ति विघ्न विनाशक नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय भक्ति शर्मा प्रहलाद महाराज की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय
Thank you, Ken Prabhu, for nicely